My personal ethos and philosophy is that we should all live a life that is full of contribution. Meaning, if you know something and you know it really well, it's not only for you, it's a gift to others. That's where the giving comes in. For me, if I'm not functioning in that environment.
Deep in the heart of Africa are stories left untold, successes drowned by the world's cold, winners not seen by the naked eye, that have flown the flag of brilliance way up high. We're here to share these stories, changing one life at a time. Journey with us as we tell the untold stories of Africa.
Thank you for joining me for yet again another episode of the Untold Stories of Africa. Welcome. My name is Zlamo Bangalalan. I will be making sure that today you get to find out about Empower Zambia. I'll be sitting with Chilumba Bwalya, who's the co-founder, and we get to learn more about what Empower Zambia is doing in our community, what exactly they're up to, what they've achieved in the last decade, and so much more. There's so much that we don't know about things happening all around us, and I am here to make sure that you get to hear about all of these stories and how you and me can be a part of our community, changing one life at a time. So let's have some fun as we talk to Chilumba. We'll be right back. Welcome to yet again another episode of the Untold Stories of Africa. Today, I'm joined by the brilliant Chilumba Bwalya, and he'll be sharing with us something exciting, something unheard of, because you know we are definitely about unearthing all those stories that are making headlines inside those corners that you rarely ever visit. So thank you so much, Chilumba, for joining me and for allowing us into your space and to be able to sit down and chat to you. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Zila. You're welcome.
Yes.
It's absolutely amazing to have you.
Now, I didn't say much in my intro.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I should allow you, in your own glory, to tell us a little bit more about yourself and your role in you know with the program and you know what you have achieved thus far.
Wow, interesting. Have I achieved anything? I doubt it.
I think you have. So, the fact that I'm here means you definitely have.
I like to think. I think we've more given people an opportunity to live their lives rather than achieving anything ourselves. And so the long and short of it is, you know, Empower Zambia is here, and that's what the representation of our conversation is. And as we talk about your untold stories, I'd like to just share a little bit about what Empower Zambia is. Started, I think, a little over 11 years now. Nice bumpy ride, but smooth in some parts. And it's a program that is about economic empowerment and creating sustainability that comes with helping individuals to come out of poverty and own the economic game. So be able to control, you know, and chart the way to what could be possibly life-changing economic activity. Entrepreneurship, as we call it.
Yes.
Yeah.
What got you to that point? What got you to a point where you said, this is definitely something I must do, this is something I need to start?
Yeah.
What got you there?
I think I have a heart to serve.
Okay.
First of all things, above all things. And I think it links also to how I was brought up.
Yeah.
Now, I was brought up in an environment where at any given time, we had 12, 14, 20 people in the house visiting with us.
Yes.
You know what that did? It created a sense of community. And if somebody had an issue, they had to be the one that sorted out.
Yes.
So long story short, I was the kid that gave away all his clothes to my cousins and shoes and everything. By the time my cousins were returning for holidays, I had nothing. So I then realized, grew up and realized, I have just this knack for looking at what could be better with individuals.
Yes.
And that's how it all started.
Yeah. Yeah.
How can I contribute? How can I change? How can I impact?
Do you ever look back at your life and wonder how different it would be if this isn't what you chose? I mean, I know Empower Zambia is just an aspect of who Chilumba Bwalya is. It's just one small aspect. Believe me when I say one small aspect, I mean one small one. This man, I can't. But I mean, do you ever look back and wonder what or who you would be if this wasn't what you were doing, for your community, that is?
I think I always look back and say, if this wasn't what it is now, then there would be no me. There would definitely be no me. Because I think divorcing myself from what I call my passions and my sole purpose for living would just cause a non-existence of me.
Oh, wow.
So I actually have nights where I think about this. I say, what if this thing didn't work the way it worked? And I question myself, and I still find an answer that then there's no purpose. My personal ethos and philosophy is that we should all live a life that is full of contribution. Meaning, if you know something and you know it really well, it's not only for you, it's a gift to others. That's where the giving comes in. For me, if I'm not functioning in that environment or that aspect of life, I'm dead. I literally go look for a problem to solve every moment. So it flows like that. And even if I asked you the same question, you would realize so much about a relation to something that you're passionate that makes you tick. And if we take that away, there's no life.
What does a person like Chilumba Bwalya do for fun?
I do fun stuff. I do fun stuff. Would you call gymming fun stuff?
No.
So I like to keep myself in shape because I'm a high energy body. And so a lot of that has got to be contained somehow. Not beat the machines. That's a lot better. Play squash on the bike. I've got 2 lovely daughters.
Nice.
And so we dance.
And
spend
lots
we
of time
cook.
with them. Oh, that's beautiful.
And we go to the movies. And we,
So you can add cool dad alongside the other aspects that we'll continue to unearth as the interview goes. We're going to take a short break. And on the other side, we get to talk more about Empower Zambia and some of the challenges, some of the successes, and so on. We'll be right back. Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, this is the Untold Stories of Africa. My name is Zilla, and I'm joined by Chilumba Bwalya. I'll keep saying your full name. It's very important that I say your full name.
Excellent.
Just in case someone's thinking, no, niba Chilumba Bakushan.
No.
Chilumba Bwalya. Yes.
Perfect.
Thank you so much once again for joining me on this very, very special episode of the Untold Stories of Africa. Now, before the break, you told us you do some fun stuff, right? But moving on to some more serious things. Tell me about some of the challenges that you feel have helped shape Empower Zambia and you along this 11-year journey, I believe.
Challenges, they say, if they don't exist, you can't build resilience and you can't build character. And so I think Empower Zambia has failed many times in many ways, but has capitalized on the success because that's what makes you keep going. I think there have been many challenges, among them the access to funding. You can imagine that a great program as might be has had very little local input apart from the receiving end. So that's been a major challenge. I think also the one other big challenge is that people that have existed in the space and organizations in the space that we've existed, that is economic emancipation and empowering people to defeat poverty through entrepreneurship, have done it not out of their pockets, but have had huge funding in some names that might not be very fit to mention on TV. But we've taken that and said, because it is different and because there aren't so many people seeing it, that in itself is an opportunity to be different. So besides that, on a personal level, it's been really taxing. There have been times when I've had jobs that took me away from the country, literally 24/7, 365. But we still found a way to keep the program running. So that also said that we needed to hire people we needed to tap into the universities and speak to interns and get people on board. We needed to tap into interpreters that needed to volunteer and all that.
Yes.
But you either paid them from your pocket or you just went and begged.
Yes.
And they showed up.
Yes.
And what happens later is magical.
Yeah.
It's really brilliant.
That's true.
And
so in a not very complex manner.
Yeah.
And I say this because you are a man of language. But in a very simple way, I would like for you to break down and perhaps attach that to some of your biggest successes. But also break down for us what exactly empowers Zambia, what you have achieved thus far, but also just what it is, what the pure and just the downright simple explanation for what Empower Zambia actually is doing for people in the community.
Yeah. At the beginning of our interview, did I take you there now?
Yes.
We said Empower Zambia is about empowering people through a vehicle called entrepreneurship, so that they have the economic ability to defeat poverty. Yeah?
Yes.
So that goes through two streams, training and microloans.
Okay.
All right. Then the second tier to it, if we talk about the successes, and when I start talking this, I just have a dead, like an endless smile, not dead, endless.
I know.
Because then I imagine, then I imagine all those lives.
Yes.
I'll tell you one particular one. I remember, I think in our fourth year, I remember we went into a community called Chilumba Valley. And when we got there, there was, different kinds of people, personalities and everything. And we received very ordinary people. And at that stage, I think I had a job that entailed me to look and feel a certain way. So I really, I'm a spiritual person. I thank God I didn't depart from looking down at those people. I looked at them with respect. But if an average person saw them, they would only see problems. Fast forward 3 years later, I saw out of those people who looked like nothing achieve taking their kids to school, achieve building homes, achieve expanding their gardens, achieve, putting clothes on their bodies that were otherwise in tatters. And I saw all that change because Empower Zambia gave them hope. How? We trained them how to look at a situation differently. We trained them to look at what was pertaining as a problem, to turn it into an opportunity. So two things happens here. When an idea has an opportunity to be accepted and interpreted for what it could become, what happens later is people's minds and eyes open to what used to be debt and now they see money. All right? And these are some of the stories. And we had one old lady, by the way, in that class. I think she was in her 70s. Drunk, good for nothing, written off old woman in the context of the community. She is the one that built a house in 3 years out of a loan of $150 to $200. And she came back each and every 6 months to renew. Before that, she attended every one of the class. And I remember, could you turn it in Bemba? Turn it into a local language. And we humbled ourselves. And if you go to our Facebook page, you'll see me literally kneeling in some of the sessions, like sitting with them on the floor. It's that heart, it's that giving, that changed the lives of these people. She's late now, but they're much more powerful stories that have come out of it. And if I achieved it? No. The people that help us to deliver these programs, the Danette Lacostas, the people behind that, and Melissa McKenty in those days, and every other person that believes this is possible. It's one life. One life at a time. And creating really big impact. Really big. Another one, eh?
Another one. One more.
One more, Zilla, one more. And I'll tell you about a more recent one. The more recent one, single mom. I think rejected some sort by the husband. Comes into the program and we really unlock something magical. just by having conversation, and I get interested because I actually go out in the field and I'm looking for businesses that look otherwise.
Yes.
Above all, I'm looking for a positive attitude,
Yes.
a mindset that says we can. And I find this woman and I says, hey, would you be interested in something like this? And she says, yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so she gets into the first program. It's a 4-month program in terms of payment and return and education and everything.
Yeah.
We shortened it to 2 months because she was such a brilliant lady in understanding the business concepts and what she could do. In 4 months, she's got 2 loans. The first one, $500. The second one, $1,100. She's completed both of them in record 5 months. Her business has more than tripled. And she was doing fish, and now she does chickens, and now she's into cosmetics, and now she's flying. That's the possibility that we unlock when we talk Empower Zambia. As simple as the word sound.
Yes.
That is how real they are.
Empowerment.
Empower.
Yeah. That's it.
Those are the
That's
stories.
brilliant. Tell me about the balance, though. Tell me a little bit more about the balance that you must create between the Chilumba that is out there in the field, spearheading Empower Zambia and making sure that this program is running, and the Chilumba who is a dad, a husband, and I think there's a lecturer aspect. Oh man, there's so many things. And tell me about the balance, because I do know for a fact we all get to a certain point where somewhere they intertwine and hit each other somewhere. How do you manage that? What do you do?
Here is a classic. So I get home and I'm saying something to my wife.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I said. I think 2 years ago. And she says, you know what, honey? I'm not one of your staff. Then you know that balance is not happening. So it's not easy.
Yes, of course.
It's not easy at all. I think it's really just, first of all, appreciating who you are in different spaces.
Yes.
And there is a personality for each environment. Let's just face it. You've got to intelligently play that. There's the lecturer manifesting in the dad, because you've got to give instruction. And then there is the compassionate person manifesting in loving the kids and loving the wife, but also giving in the entrepreneurial space that we're in. So for me, my life evolves around very basic principles that I cannot be one person in one environment and be the other in the other environment. The simple reason is this: it's very stressing, Zira. You can't be 300 persons. So I try as much as possible to be the same person you see at home, the same person you see in the office, upfront, vibrant, energetic, really, really asking for 101% in terms of everything we do. So that's that. But also you've got to remember that the people you interact with in these different environments are different levels, both of knowledge, understanding, appreciation, and emotional connection. That's the key. I'll get home tonight. My daughter will open the gate, or my wife, beep, and they'll say something, and then I know. So I prepare as I drive home. I prepare as I come this way. But I like to be me. What you see now, in most environments, is what you get. Nice. Actually, one person tells me, you are never out of character. What's with you?
You're always in character. Always.
But that's it. So I find it really easy because I don't want to live too many personalities. I just need to balance.
As someone that is pushing entrepreneurship and pushing business and pushing the growth of the economy and even just the growth of one's financial stature on their own, what do you believe or what do you think about rest? I think it's important, because the reason why I ask this is because I have known and experienced and encountered entrepreneurs that believe sleep is for the weak. And I'm slowly starting to believe that I will find someone one day, you might be that somebody right now, who would tell me, no, listen, it's important to sleep and rest. What do you think about making sure that there's a balance between setting all these goals and believing that you can achieve this and saving this money and investing in this and buying this and doing that, but remembering that at the end of the day, one must rest.
Yeah, you mentioned very critical things. Let's set the goals.
Yes.
Let's execute on them.
Yes.
Let's achieve.
Yeah.
Let's get that moving.
Yeah.
That project.
Yeah.
Close that. Open this. You know, a life of an entrepreneur. You know, entrepreneur is a sexy thing to say now.
Yes.
The interpretation of it is really
Very different.
So it's nice on the outside. It's ugly in the inside.
Yes.
So the real ones will tell you. The one that says sleep is for the weak are really just overrated.
Yeah.
So when they say they are hustling, they're probably sipping to some coffee at 12 noon, you know, and sleeping on the couch at 3 and hoping that life will happen. I'm totally different. I appreciate that there's need for rest, but I'll tell you what bothers you when you hit that bed. As soon as you want to hit the sack, then the stuff that are important begin to replay in your mind.
Oh boy.
So you might take that body to bed. You might
Your
not
mind.
take that mind to bed. So it's really the reality of it.
Yeah.
However, for me, like I told you, I have a perfect detox. Okay? I try to close off time to do the things that distract me from the otherwise nutty, important, and bothering things. I always try to find that one, even if it's just an hour of quality time doing that one thing, I find it.
Is that gym?
No.
It's
I
different.
try to split. I try to split.
Okay.
I try to split and just see what works for me.
Yeah.
But when I'm stressed and things are knocking in my head,
Yeah.
I will go and make a meal for my family.
Okay.
I cook.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I'll go cook for my
So
family.
you can add chef. Keep
So,
going.
yeah, so I'll go cook or,
Yeah.
or get on a bike, go for 2 hours. And I also now try to do my own space.
Okay.
So like, you know, get away, my patio at home,
Yeah.
lock the doors,
Yeah.
nobody's coming out,
Yeah.
or sponsor some ice cream
Yeah.
so that I'm alone.
Yes.
You know, I find a way to find
Yes.
that space to now
Yeah.
say, hey, Chilumba, what's up, man?
Yeah.
Before you drown, before you sink, what's up?
Yeah.
So going on and on and on, you expect people to do it. The real ones, I repeat, the real ones, they'll never tell you that. They usually find that space.
Yeah.
1 hour, 2 hours.
Important. Yes.
Yeah, to just be them. Because without that, you won't get your sanity, you won't get your creativity, you won't get the right energies.
Yeah.
And the frustration will show in your work, in your team, in your family, and everything else.
Okay. In coming to closing, or rather just before we get to a point where we're closing, I want you to share with me one of Empower Zambia's toughest ever situations. It could have been a bad month, a bad quarter, a bad year, but I think to just include the fact that tough comes as well. I think I would be very, 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 happy to have you share with me a tough situation. And when you look back at it now, you're like, we got out of that one.
Yeah. No, excellent. I think tough situations are there every day, Zila. Every single day, there's a tough situation. Every day. Even this morning, I had a tough situation about EZ. Because then I get into my office. I'm here maybe 6:40. And maybe the first person to talk to me is going to be somebody that brings me the bad news. Yeah. We do microloans besides the empowerment in Empower Zambia. You know the rate of repayment of microloans in Africa? If you're hitting 25-30%, you're doing really well.
Really?
I guess that tells you how many problems I have to face. Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's a tough day every day. I think the belief in me and everybody that works around me is that these tough situations are repairable. Because there is no human being or human created problem that is unsolvable. That's my philosophy. So I walk into a problem and I say, what is it?
Yeah. What can I do?
And then we say, what can we do?
Yeah.
And here is the new one. I introduced it last year. You don't come to me if you work with me with a problem alone. You come with a problem and 2 possible solutions.
Nice.
By the time you leave, we have 4. And there are 4 ways to fix it.
Yes.
Do they go away? No, they still come back. The only difference is that we're resilient and we see that there is more that can be done with these people than just looking at what the problem has been. So we work with them, we rehabilitate, we look at opportunities to extend the loan, we look at what else can you do. Can you pivot your idea? Can you do more of this? What, business growth strategy can we use? What business change strategy can we? So we use the otherwise complex theories and water them down to really simple, practical, teeny tiny bits and say, create it, own it, live it, make it happen.
Wow. I was mind blown. Did you see me for a second there? I was like, oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible. It's good work.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
And I think it's definitely something that deserves to be spoken about, something that I'm very happy to share about on the Untold Stories. And I mean, as I just kind of summarize everything, where do you see Empower Zambia in the next, you've already covered like 10 years plus.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
For Empower Zambia or for myself?
Empower Zambia.
It should outlive me, obviously. Anything that doesn't outlive me then has a fault in its foundation. Then secondly, we want to cover more of people outside of Lusaka. We've technically done a lot of work in Lusaka, in the shanty compounds where nobody's willing to go.
Yeah.
So we hope that we can branch into 2 more cities and cover those people. But besides, we also foresee a situation where we start forming cooperatives in the communities and creating what you would call a local supermarket or mini market where all these entrepreneurs can take their produce and sell under the roof of Empower Zambia and pay no rent because we've created a market for them in the community. So that at the end of the day, we're also attracting those that thought it was impossible to listen to these stories and find it as a point of empowerment. There's going to be a program that we roll into I think after the 5-year plan. But also we want to tap into the universities and the colleges to see opportunities to involve more young people in it, so that they see what else is, optimistic out there that they can contribute to, and encourage them, really encourage them to give back.
I think the involvement of a lot more local entities is something that we should see happen for Empower Zambia. To have more people coming through and saying, look, I want to be a part of this and I want to do that. So I'm super excited.
Excellent.
I think you're going to have yourself a fantastic year ahead.
You're one of the first to get involved.
I am. Yes. I am one of the first. And I think above all, thank you so much.
Amazing.
For just making the time to share with us. And we will make sure we visit again and see where Empower Zambia is in a couple of years' time. And just hope that, as you have said, not only does the program outgrow you, but also to just see that all the people that have gone through this program leave legacies that outgrow them also. Because I think that's the most important. That's the most important.
Amazing. Looking forward to it, and looking forward to it outliving both of us. Thank you so much, Dila. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Another outstanding individual within our community making remarkable strides in just imprinting and just making a difference in our society. Chilumba Bwalya is just one of many stories that I hope to share with you on what he is just doing across Zambia and within his community, getting out there and just making sure that some change, no matter how small, is made. Empower Zambia is just one of the many that I believe you will learn and hear about right here on the Untold Stories of Africa. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Zila Mubangalala, and have yourself a fantastic day. Thank you.